Namaste, viewers, and welcome to another episode of Amazing Vedas with Dr. Pariksith Singh. Thank you, Dr. Singh, for joining us. It's a Friday afternoon when we're recording, and we are doing a preview of your new book, Vedas for Gen Z. And in the earlier episode, we talked about what prompted you to write this book. And now, I want to go to the opening parts of your book where you say that the Rishis were not these solemn and boring people, but they were people full of joy and humor, and they used to laugh. They had a good time. So, tell us some of the jokes you included in this book. Because, I mean, as you said to me, people will remember the jokes, they may forget other things.
Yeah. So my first draft was full of jokes, and our publisher rejected all my approach. He said, "No, this is a very serious subject. You can't be joking, and people get upset." So he removed all my jokes. He said, "Gen Z doesn't like all this, and we have to be serious about it." Okay, I said, "Be serious." Then he Gen Z style. He changed my style, made it very Gen Z, and now it's a Gen Z book for Gen Z, written by something else, but not me, which is okay. As Yogi Berra said, I never said the things I did. So
So
this
AI
book,
said the things I did.
yes, yes, but it took the ideas and it presented
So
in a different
it's
way.
almost like saying not I, but AI said this.
Not I, but yeah, yes, Nati, and not I. Idam na mama, right? A new line to AIA. Idam AIA. Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm sorry, I'll have to write a book just full of jokes on the Veda, for the Veda, and that just very few people who appreciate that kind of approach to the Veda. I think if we could just approach the Veda with humor and we just laughed and laughed, I think we would understand more of it than if we approach it in a very solemn manner and, being serious. And what the heck? The first thing that our rishis do is they laugh. They're full of ananda. And I learned this, when I used to started yoga. I said to someone who, a very good friend of ours, I said, imagine how much power these people had. They could do anything. They could create universes. How much power? And he said, imagine how much anand they had. The bliss they had. They lived. They're exploding with that bliss. Imagine that. Here we are going hankering after little things, money, this food, this drink. They were so packed, you know. So, what is that word in Avadhut Gita? Ye nidam puritam sarvam, right? Atmaneva atma atma atmaneva
Atmanaiva
manatmani.
Atmanam. Atmanaiva Atmanam.
No, atmanevat manatmani.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yenedam puritam sarvam. All this is
Full of, yeah.
full of atman. Even the atman is full of atman. So I am laughing when I read this, because the moment I think of, okay, this is all atman, and then even the atman is full of atman, you have to have a sense of somewhere a puckishness that you can say such a thing, right? To say Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam Yat Kincha Jagatyam Jagat. Now the poet in you immediately says Jagatyam Jagat, right? Everything in the Jagat, but now you have Pand, Jagati and Jagatyam, that which is Gatiman in this Jagat. Here's beautiful pun, Yamakalankar. But you have to have a sense of complete relaxation and freedom to be able to pun like that. And if you look at Agni Suktam, it is full of puns, it is full of experiments. Who can experiment? Only one who is not burdened with the past, who can create anew. Our rishis were brilliant guys. They experimented, they were not hung up, yet they were so humble, respectful. It's a beautiful, so we have to learn to laugh with them. At least that's how I took it.
Definitely, and also they were not afraid. I think that
Yes,
whenever we come across something religious, we get so afraid that, oh, if I make
yes,
a mistake, I'll
yes.
get punished. But they were so bold. And if you read the Shatapatha Brahmana, they start creation and it doesn't go right, they do it all over again. They're not afraid. But still, please tell us a couple of jokes that you had to
Okay.
exclude. Because I can't think of why Gen Z can't appreciate humor. I think that's
They, because look, I don't want to say, I don't want to criticize my own publisher, because obviously he appreciated my book, but this is how I started. This was the quote from Groucho Marx. I think Groucho Marx is a great way to start the Veda, right? So his quote, and
among the Marxists, Groucho and not
he's the
Karl.
best. Yes, Groucho Marx. So he says, someone sent him a book, so I put this there. I received your book. I laughed and I laughed. Someday I intend to read it. So, I mean, this this is
So,
how.
Dr. Singh, I received your book, The Veda Made Simple, and I laughed and laughed.
Yes,
And someday I hope to read it.
yes. I mean, I thought that would be the ideal start for Gen Z to read my book. No baggage, self-deprecatory humor, and just there's no expectation. Take away all the burden that we carry, the monkey on our back. Let's get rid of it. So the simplicity of approach, that was what I was trying. I put some jokes in it. Some of them a bit risque, which I would not want to talk about. But what is the Veda without some risque jokes? You got to take
Absolutely.
some risque with the risk.
Yep,
But
absolutely. What's any book without some risk?
yes. So,
But
but
tell us,
maybe
are
next
there
time.
some jokes that they kept, one or two at least? Tell us
They
about
kept
those.
one. They kept one.
Tell us that. Can you read it out? Is it easily
Yeah,
accessible?
I remembered most of my jokes. So there's a rabbi and a rishi. They meet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A rabbi meets a rishi, and I had some bar jokes too, but they got all thrown out. I'm sorry. So let me try to remember it. The rabbi said, we have, this is the way our God is. And the rishi says, yeah, so that makes sense because this is how we see the world. Now the rabbi gets very confused. So you mean to say we have the same approach? He says, yes, same Wi-Fi, different whatever the channels,
Routers, different
different
routers.
routers. Thank you. So they took one. They kept the most bland, harmless joke. My jokes were very. Some were not. Some were non-veg. What do you call them? Non-veg jokes. But you gotta have some non-veg
Yeah,
jokes
you
with the
see, the,
Veda,
the bar, the bar, by the way, is a very important place for wisdom.
right? Right. For the
And
Soma,
I remember your play. In your play, this young man comes rushing and meets this enlightened sage or whoever the Babaji is. And he says, "Oh, I'm so keen to know the truth." He says, "Come have a beer. Come drink a
yes,
beer."
yes.
So tell us a little more about your bar jokes.
So, see, what happens is we get stuck. This is the duality. Either the bar is a bad place, right? It's a lowly place, not worthy. We are spiritual. We will not have the spirit, right? We won't have it,
Spirit.
right?
There's a spirit there. Spirit.
Right, the spirit.
You
Or,
know, as some people used to say, Om Ram Ramaya Namaha.
that's right, the Rama. And Ram, by the way, is the Bij mantra for joy, for
That's
Anand.
what I'm trying to say. That
Yeah,
you can get from,
yes,
triple X in India. They used to
that's
smuggle
right.
it from the army. Triple X and
That's right.
Coke, or
That's
or
right.
Seven Up. They used to call it, or whatever. Campa Cola, Seven Up. Who knows?
Yeah, they mixed it. So either we take it as a lowly place or we make it the center of our life, that we have to have a drink. Both approaches are non-Vedic. If I'm just using, sorry, but seeing even the beer as something profound, even as its simplicity. The Veda can be seen as dealing with everyday simple things in an extraordinary manner, to discover the extraordinary in the ordinary. That is a very important understanding of our Vedanta and Veda. To everyday life is every moment is so valuable, so beautiful, and it is this very moment I have the presence of the gods here with me, and I have the ability to open up to any universe right now in my ordinariness. That is the first thing I learned from the Veda. So bar jokes, if you get rid of your hang up, then bar jokes become great.
See,
uh,
also, it's so important to remember that the tavern has been such an important symbol. In
yes.
Persian poetry, the Mekhana, the wine, the beloved, the Saki, the one who serves the wine. Think about Omar Khayyam, and it continues throughout, And in our modern times, I might say, one of the great philosophers and teachers of Advaita Vedanta and the grandson of Mahatma Gandhi, Ramchandra Gandhi, Professor Ramchandra Gandhi, with two PhDs, one from Oxford and I think one from another university. And he used to hold forth at the bar of the India International Center. You wanted to get him to talk, his lectures, you had to go there. And
Okay.
even if you just hold a drink, he was the professor at large, but people would say he was the professor at the bar. And another, so to speak, joke. The other word for alcohol is sura, you know. So the suras and the asuras were those who didn't have the sura. So they went the wrong way. And don't forget soma, that drop of bliss
Soma.
we crave for. So I really agree that without joy, there is no spiritual progress. And this dyspeptic kind of spirituality, it's the dry, the
I love
dry
that
and
phrase.
the arid. So I'm so glad. But now that we've said all this, you must give us at least one bar joke.
I'll Okay, I'll give you a bar joke, and that came at the end of my book. So Mullah Nasiruddin goes to the bar, and there is this guy who's there, and this is the end of my book. You have read the book, now it's at the end. So this guy says, "Okay, I have a story to tell you," and he's nicely drunk, and he tells a story. It's a very boring story. There's nothing funny about it, and everybody is listening, and he's holding forth. And he finishes the story, and Mullah Nasiruddin laughs and laughs and laughs, totally falling on the ground. And the guy says, "Oh my God, give him another drink," right? He buys him another drink. So once they all disperse, someone comes to him and say, "Mullah, what the heck did you find funny in that whole joke? There was such a boring story." He said, "Yeah, I know that, but I was afraid that if I didn't laugh, he would repeat this whole story all over again." so
That
so you better, when you read my book, at the end of it, you laugh and you laugh. Otherwise, I'll write you another book. So
deal. No, you write another book in any case. But viewers, please, Mullah Nasruddin has been a wonderful teaching tool, for hundreds of years. And the jokes accumulate. You can write one today. So here's a simpleton who then opens something up through humor. So we've talked about this in one of our earlier recordings, but the so-called wise fool, now we talk about the three idiots and so forth, but wise fool, the Shakespearean fool, the Vidushak, these are so important. And in a way, they're Vedic. These are Vedic
yes.
devices. And think about the Zen koan, something that flips you out of your mind. And what better way to do it than a light touch? And so I really look forward to, younger people responding to your book, laughing to your jokes, and even the jokes that didn't make it. Let's make a Vedic joke book because, uh, what are the Vedas without humor? And the Rishis had a great sense of humor, and I think we have to imbibe some of that fun, that sense of lightness, the unbearable lightness of being, as
That's right.
Milan Kundera would say. And so, thank you so much, Dr. Singh, and I do hope that the preview makes the younger people interested in your book. It should be out soon. We'll post links and we'll have the cover also, and it has a very Gen Z kind of illustration on it. And please, any concluding thoughts before we let you go?
No, you better laugh when you've read my book. That's
Deal. Absolutely. Absolutely. Great. So thank you, Dr. Singh. And viewers, please like, share, and subscribe, and do support our endeavor to make the Vedas approachable, living, and also fun.